Greetings everybody and welcome back to another livestream recap. I'm ImagineerDave, the host of this channel, and today I'll be taking you through the livestreams episodes of 101 till 110 of the Create SMP series. In these livestreams we work towards Minecraft's most realistic railway together with some friends. So let's dive into what happened starting at livestream 101. In episode 101 we finished a project that was started about 10 episodes ago. The tunnel between Shepperton and York finally gets a backside. Decorations such as these will be dotted in between the live streams to slowly grow not only the realistic rail yards, but in total the realistic railway. After the tunnel works were finally complete, we move on to the railway expansion in episode 102. For a long while I had been thinking about a possible expansion of the railway. After thinking for a bit, the first sketches came to life where a railway expansion to the west would be an option. The gate to this expansion would be York Station, and from there on we would just go outwards. In the old state of the station, it was a through station with a direct loop going on the side of the station. To add more realism to that, the station would get an option to go through and back, but more spacious and more with a bigger bend outwards. Outside of the realism, this would also allow for an intersection on the backside to link to the western line. And this plan also gave chance for another idea. When I think about rail yards and industrial hubs, I also think about embankments and railway bridges and things. The newly thought of intersection gave the chance to create this feeling in the world. A separate flyover would be added so that the trains coming from the north would have a freeway into the first three platforms of York Station. This would allow for example, an express to skip over the points where the goods trains and the local ones would be. The design of the flyover is again fit to the area that we work in. The first part of the slope is made up of embankments which slowly go into a retaining wall structure-ish. After some height is made, the retaining wall turns into arches to save bricks and other things, where at the end a cast iron bridge would take the track over the others towards a downward embankment. After the flyover was built, the tracks behind York's base were redone to align properly to the new intersection. Switches were added to add another feature to York's station, where trains can now come in from the backside or from the front side. Again, this is added for more realism and dynamic running. As you can see, the flyover is now one of the many monumental sites in our map where interaction between trains is now possible. In episode 103, we connected the western line on the main intersection behind the bypass and added in the much needed signaling to keep the intersection efficient. The big signal gantry, which was set up in between episodes 102 and 103, is adapted to display each platform and if it's occupied, with below if the route to the platform is clear. These signals will later on be added more into the world due to their realism and appearance. Now that we set up this new intersection, we can finally expand the railway. In episode 104, we grabbed the work train and started to dig embankments, tunnels and laid the rails to our new possible destinations. When looking at the map, the possibility to make another loop towards Hombau became apparent and our new plan was set. In the upcoming episodes of 104 and 105, the rest of the rails were laid and we reconnected the railway in another loop line. After all these rails and new rail lines, we just needed something else. And that's of course something to fill it up, so new rolling stock. In episodes before 106 we have messed around with the automated shunting, which is not yet installed, but a plan for the future. For that, we built a set of tanker wagons which would function nicely as rolling stock for our world, so we started building those. Afterwards, they were just left in a yard at York's base, but at least we have them. In episode 107 we go back to the railways and we make a little change to our own rail yard, especially the rail entrance to our yard. For future expansion and capacity we need more incoming rails to our yard. On the opposite side of the canal we add another entry track so we can have trains waiting till the platform is free. This addition is needed for our future ideas to run multiple services from the same platform. In episode 108, another expansion to the fleet was made by adding some new passenger wagons. I'd like to have more really long trains because they look really good and realistic, so I've decided to try and remake some wagons that I know from real life. On the Heritage Railway here in the Netherlands, the BR41 regularly drives behind it with some MAT 24 wagons. Might mean nothing to you, but really cool wagons. These wagons were originally for electric trains, but the combination of the big steam engine with this set looks great in real life, and in game it looks really good too. In episode 109 we revisited our own signaling gantry after the updates to York Station and the addition of the incoming track of course. This new system also shows the platform availability and if the route is safe. There are also some signals on the sides which display if the route to the shunting yard is passable. After the new one was built, it was time to clear up the old gantry to make some more space and air in the rail yard. After these railway-focused episodes, it was time in episode 110 to put the focus back to making buildings. The spot near the harbour and small goods facility has been empty for a while, so after some designing in previous episodes it was time to put down a well-sized building. After clearing the area from the terrain, the schematic canon took over and added the final building to this area, which became a depot for the dockyard. And that's it for this recap. After these 10 episodes, our world is ready for more real traffic and plans in the future. As always, I want to thank you all for following along, as it really helps me to stay motivated and make more ideas. If you want to check out these live streams, be sure to join my Discord down below to get notified when I'm live, or follow me here on YouTube to get community notifications. I hope to see you soon.